We're here at Silicon Valley, right in the heart of venture capital land, and we're with Peter Dempster of DriveNow. So, Peter, tell us what DriveNow is, because we only have it in one part of the United States right now.
Sure. So DriveNow is a free floating car sharing company which exclusively uses BMW and Minis. It is a total hack of the car sharing model in that you can pick up and drop off cars in different places. You pay by the minute, and there are no late fees. So you can take it as long as you want. You don't have to tell us when you're bringing it back.
That's impressive, and what impressed me, you asked me about your website, what impressed me about it, what I saw was $12 to basically take a car from the airport in San Francisco to downtown, which would probably be a $30 or $40 cab ride, right?
Yeah, that's totally right. So not only are we totally flexible, but we're very affordable.
And it really, at this point, it's probably more of a learning phase, I would suspect, as far as where you are in the scheme of things. So why don't you tell us what you've learned so far?
Yeah, sure. Well, we've learned a lot, of course, working on the streets of San Francisco with electric cars. First of all, how people are using our product, what are the energy management needs of operating an electric vehicle fleet that is just on the streets, free floating. And also, we've learned a lot about the need for public-private partnerships and really working hand in hand with the city and with academic communities.
Well, I talk about the public-private partnerships in a minute, but just the very mundane thing of you'd leave it somewhere, how does it get charged?
Yeah, for cars that are just available on the streets for pickup, we use a hub and spoke model, meaning that when the cars get below a certain state of charge, we actually have our fleet and operations group bring a fresh car out, bring that car that needs to be charged to a charger, and we've installed 50 of them around the city to be charged and then to replace one that's low of charge later on.
And from a public-private partnership, tell us about the things you face there.
Yeah, so the biggest challenge that we face is that in order for our model to work, we really need to be curbside on the streets so that people can see the cars and the cars are convenient and available when they need them. And to do that, we need to have a special permit that is very unique for car sharing. So instead of a space being reallocated for car sharing, our permit is actually tied to the car and it floats around from one neighborhood to another neighborhood. So we need to have access to all of the residential permitted areas, but in addition we'd like to park in the metered zones, and of course we'd be paying the city appropriately for use of the public right-of-way.
Yeah, no, I guess all the meter people need to know not to give these a ticket then, right, in that scenario?
Yeah, exactly.
What sort of people are using the service?
Yeah, well, we have a diverse mix of people using DriveNow, and the median age is 31. These are a lot of tech-savvy people. We find a mixture of genders, careers, and income and mobility needs. So people who use it just to go to the airport, people who use it for business daily, like an architect or a lawyer, or people that just want to take it for a vacation in Napa.
So, you know, I have a client I'm going to go to. I need a car. How do I know where it is?
So our members open up the DriveNow app, and immediately it will show the car closest to them and also display the state of charge so they know how far it can go. And so that's how they find the car. They can choose to reserve the car or just walk up to it and spontaneously book it using the card that we send them in the mail. They can also use the phone to unlock the car once they're right next to it.
And so from a cost perspective, you said it's on a per mile basis. Is there any sort of subscription fee as well, or?
So DriveNow charges on a per minute basis for driving and parking, and we charge a one-time lifetime membership fee of $40. And keep in mind that your membership is good here in San Francisco. It's also good in London, Vienna, or Berlin, or any of our other markets.
From a big picture perspective, you know, BMW, I think you mentioned it, they've gone from 1.4 to 2 million cars sold in your time. You know, what's kind of their incentive to do this?
Yeah, so I think that BMW Group sees that people moving to cities have different mobility needs than the traditional BMW customer. And so really it's just an opportunity to bring perhaps a younger, more diverse set of perhaps even transit first and bike sharing users, bicyclists into the BMW and Mini brand.
That makes a lot of sense. And from a city perspective, what sort of expansion, what would be the types of cities you'd expand to, say, in North America or anywhere?
Well, we haven't announced our next city launches, but we're looking at cities that are pretty close to San Francisco in terms of population density, demographic, public transportation use, bike sharing access, and other things like that. So that's really what we're looking at for our next city launch.
Excellent. Now, I'd imagine this is kind of a first step to probably other things in terms of autonomy or whatever. Is that?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. Car sharing is just one piece of a more holistic approach to creating urban mobility solutions that move us into the future. So we can think about electric vehicles, renewable energy, autonomous cars, on-demand services, and other things that will really bring us to a new age of mobility. And this is just one step towards that.
It's about getting that 4% utilization up to a much higher number, I suppose, then.
Exactly.
Well, Peter, I really appreciate your time and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.